Caitlin Clark
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm a
forth.
fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
Stephen A. Smith didn't just critique Angel Reese. He detonated a conversation that had been simmering since her first WNBA tip-off. When he questioned whether Angel's confidence was backed by actual performance, it hit harder than any elbow thrown in the paint. This wasn't the typical sports commentary fluff. It was a reality check. One that echoed across sports media, Twitter feeds, and locker room whispers. And when he said she wasn't Caitlin Clark, not now, not yet, the reaction was immediate and explosive.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living, you know what, at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did. It would have never gotten to this point.
But here's the kicker. This moment didn't come out of nowhere. The Bayou Barbie hype machine had been working overtime since her LSU days. Big nails, bigger statements, and an attitude tailor-made for primetime. And fans were ready. They wanted that MJ-level dominance, she claimed. They expected a breakout rookie season that matched her viral energy. What they got instead? 4 points. 1 game. A meltdown. And a whole lot of questions. The lights are on. But is anyone really home?
First of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that.
Let's talk about the elephant-sized stat. In the room, 4 points. That's what Angel Reese dropped in her headline matchup against the Indiana Fever. 4. In a game where Caitlin Clark was benched and practically gift-wrapped the stage for Angel to shine, the spotlight might as well have been a black hole. She had the ball, the attention, and the storyline, and she flopped. This wasn't a gritty defensive masterclass. It was an offensive no-show that left even the highlight reels searching for a pulse.
Most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive rebound.
Look, if you're watching this right now and thinking, wow, this is deeper than I expected, then do us both a favor. Tap that subscribe button. This channel is diving into the real, unfiltered layers of sports narratives. Not just box scores, but reputations, careers, and legacies in the making. And trust me, we're just getting started. Like the video if you're already seeing where this is going, and drop a comment. Is Angel Reese overrated or is she just hitting a rough patch? Be honest. We'll feature the top responses in our next breakdown.
Angel Reese, part 38, let's get it! Life throws her lemons, she makes bricks. Bang! PSA to anyone watching, she is right-handed. Right-handed, by the way. She missed the rim by 3 feet, man. Bang! I gotta say, this is my favorite summer sitcom. Pecan? Butter pecan? Bang! Here's a stat. She's been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 hoops. What? Bang!
And speaking of breakdowns, Angel's performance wasn't just weak. It was symbolic. The league gave her the microphone. The fans gave her the benefit of the doubt. Even Caitlin Clark's absence gave her the ultimate green light. And still, she couldn't deliver. This wasn't just a missed opportunity. It was a public unraveling.
Because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along,
There were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine.
In college, Angel Reese was a force of nature. She was dominating headlines, crashing boards, and strutting into every arena like she owned it. Her LSU run was legendary. The confidence, the swagger, the viral taunts. She wasn't just a player, she was a brand. But the transition to the WNBA? It's been anything but smooth. The speed, the physicality, the expectations. It's a different beast. And right now, it's chewing up her reputation and spitting out disappointment.
Elaborate a little bit more on that in just a second. But before I do that, I want to ask you your thoughts about apparently some racial animus that was thrown in the direction of Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky have gotten involved, talking about they're going to protect their players at all costs. The NWNBA has issued a statement saying it abhors and discourages hate of any kind, etc., etc. Your thoughts about it? Here's the WNBA statement. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Your thoughts about that element of all of this, where you believe it emanates from, and do you think it will ever subside?
Because here's the truth most fans don't want to say out loud. College glory doesn't guarantee professional success. In the NCAA, she was the Bayou Barbie. In the WNBA, she's struggling to even look like a starter. When Caitlin Clark sits and still dominates the narrative while Angel's on the floor blending into the background, something's broken. This was supposed to be her moment. Instead, it feels like her relevance is hanging by a thread woven from Instagram filters and college highlight reels.
The latter part of that, Stephen A., is quite the thing to think on. I think when you go back to the impetus of the rivalry that we have between Caitlin and Angel Reese, I remember funny clips on the internet.
Another diabolical stat. She's 19 of 59 from less than 5 feet away. How about that, man? Bang! She should work at housekeeping for hotels because she could turn it over quickly. Lost by 27, scored only 4 points against the Indiana Fever. I mentioned no Caitlin Clark, no problem, give and go. Like a given no shot of working. Bang!
You prefer a car or plane?
Car or plane for what? For how you want to travel! That's too many steps and you can't do that.
And that disconnect is only growing. Angel came into the league as a headline machine, but her box scores are becoming punchlines. She's not just underperforming, she's underwhelming in the exact moments where she needed to rise. The difference between college dominance and pro longevity? Production. And so far, she's missing that key ingredient.
I have yet to see a single example of Angel Reese being a leader outside of rebounding her own missed layups. What does Angel Reese do? What is her contribution? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Reese, but she considers herself a star. If you're going to call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night. And for 27 minutes, she completely disappeared.
You know it's bad when even the coaching staff looks confused. Tyler Marsh, Chicago Sky's head coach, has tried every position short of mascot to make Angel click. Power forward, small ball center, even tossing her out on the wing like she's a stretch 4 prototype. It's like watching someone try to plug in every cable to get the TV to work, but the screen stays blank. No matter where he places her, the result is the same. Rebounds? Maybe. Buckets? Barely.
Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark, because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her comeuppance. And that's what made Angel Reese famous. Now, Angel Reese experienced vitriol thereafter. It was tough for her to deal with, as she articulated.
What's worse is the broadcast team covering for her like PR reps at a crisis management seminar. She's contributing in other ways, they say. Really? because running the floor and clanking layups isn't exactly impact basketball. It's window dressing, and fans aren't buying it. They're watching the same stat lines, the same missed opportunities, and the same shrug-worthy effort.
Oh, there's a lot of reaction coming in from last night's drubbing, destruction, annihilation, cremation, whatever you want to call it, roasting, sauteed, whatever your form of cooking may be. But the Indiana Fever absolutely dismantled the Chicago Sky.
And if fans are noticing, you can bet the locker room is too. How long before teammates get tired of working their tails off while Angel logs starter minutes with bench-level output? Chemistry doesn't just break, it erodes, slowly, quietly. And when your star player becomes a liability, morale follows. This isn't a system issue, it's a performance issue, and coaches are running out of ways to hide it.
This is only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Fangirl over her? Bend the fucking knee? Kiss the ring? Like, what do you want from them? We cannot, every time the girl plays a game, she got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not, every single game, gonna revisit and retread this same tired-ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful they have been.
Now let's address the tension nobody wants to touch but everyone's talking about. The racial dynamics between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. From the very beginning, the discourse was never just about basketball. It was about representation, legacy, and media bias. When Angel clapped back at Clark during their NCAA showdown, some saw it as justice, others saw it as disrespect. And the reaction was split right down racial lines.
What an outfit Angel Reese was rocking. She put a lot of time, a lot of effort into making sure her ensemble was on point. Are my boots matching my jacket? Are my gloves matching my hat? Angel Reese put in tons of time for this outfit, which begs the question, does Angel Reese put in more time in her outfits for the pregame catwalk, or does she put in more time to actually get better at the game?
But it's gone deeper now. The WNBA recently launched an investigation into alleged racist fan behavior toward Angel. Hate has no place in sports, period. But the irony? Much of the animosity she's facing now stems from the very hype machine that helped build her up. Angel was cast as a rival, a rebel, a disruptor. And that narrative only works when you back it up on the court. Without results, that edge becomes ammo for critics and trolls.
The Goose comes along, and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. We lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the #1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats.
Still, it's not all on her. The media spotlight has turned these women into symbols of broader issues, and that's not fair. Angel deserves the space to grow as a player without carrying the entire weight of a culture war. But unfortunately, when you step into the arena of controversy, you don't get to choose when the game ends. And right now, she's learning that the hard way.
She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the table.
At one point, Angel Reese was a walking highlight. Her LSU days were filled with buzzer beaters, taunts, and tunnel fits that broke the internet. But that was then. Now, she's beginning to look more like a cautionary tale than a superstar in the making. TikTok fame can't pad your stats. Instagram followers don't count on the scoreboard. And viral energy doesn't translate to elite gameplay when you're facing seasoned pros.
Actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point And it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
But she's better at everything.
And
she had a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Her stat lines are starting to resemble memes. 4 points, 1 assist, 12 rebounds. The kind of numbers that scream hustle but whisper ineffective. It's like watching a viral trend die in real time. First it's hot, then it's polarizing. Then it's irrelevant. Right now, Angel is teetering on that final step. And the fans? They're catching on. They expected dominance. What they're seeing feels like a sequel nobody asked for.
Unfortunately, it comes with the crown.
I got to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're being a little bit too PC. Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it. Now, yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows this social media. She is not dumb.
The bigger problem is branding without backing. You can walk the catwalk, drop the slogans, and sell the merch, but none of it matters if your play doesn't match the packaging. The WNBA isn't college. You don't get points for effort and personality. You earn your reputation every possession, every night. And Angel's reputation is starting to fade faster than her shooting percentage.
Jackie Robinson of the WNBA will be Caitlin Clark. If she stays healthy, there's a group of them that would hope for her to be out. But
why do you say she's going to be the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA?
Well,
it's not like she's the first white girl.
She's not the first white girl, but she's the first white superstar at the levels where she's scoring these, the threes she's shooting. She's like a Steph Curry. She's the first actual superstar that people care. When's the last time we watched like college basketball? If I told you, tell me the greatest college basketball female basketball players last 30 years, and you watch
Diana
I know her. She's our meat, but you look at some of these names, you see some of these people on how they do.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here redefining what it means to impact the game. She could be in a boot, sipping Gatorade, and still find a way to make headlines. Double-teamed? No problem. Iced out on the bench? Still the centerpiece. Even when she's not playing, she's setting the tone. Her triple-doubles aren't just impressive. They're history-making. In just 50 games, she's tied for third all-time in WNBA triple-doubles. That's not hype. That's dominance. What's more, her presence changes everything. Defenses bend, teammates elevate, ratings skyrocket, and fans show up in droves just to watch her warm up. That's what it means to be a generational player. Meanwhile, Angel is fighting for relevance, not dominance. When Caitlin gets back to full health, it's game over. Not just for her defenders, but for every narrative trying to prop up an unearned rivalry. The contrast couldn't be sharper. One player is elevating the league. The other is trying to keep up with her own brand. And if Angel doesn't find a way to flip the script soon, this won't even be a rivalry. It'll be a memory. Time is running out. For Angel Reese, the honeymoon is over. The league has taken notice, the fans have shifted focus, and the media is no longer handing out passes. She came in with fireworks and left with a flicker. 4 points, low efficiency, and no impact in key moments. That's not the resume of a rising star. It's the profile of someone who might not last. The WNBA doesn't wait. Either you perform or you disappear. This was supposed to be the rebirth of a rivalry. Instead, it's become a slow-motion unraveling. Caitlin Clark didn't just take the spotlight. She earned it, over and over again. Angel, on the other hand, is trying to hold on to a crown she never claimed. And if something doesn't change fast, we're not looking at the next MJ. We're looking at the next what could have been. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want more unfiltered breakdowns like this. We go beyond the headlines and deep into the reality of sports drama, performance, and legacy. Hit that like button to show you're watching closely and drop a comment below. Can Angel Reese turn it around, or is the league already moving on? Your take might just get featured in our next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.